Other news, two brothers severely burned last year in a paper mill explosion in Vicksburg want two things: justice and due punishment for the company that they say ruined their lives through gross negligence. Cheryl Lassiter talked to Terry and Kenny Townsend in a WLBT News exclusive, and she joins us now.
Well, Marcia, the Townsends will never fully recover. They can't go out in the sunlight. In fact, Kenny says he can't even go out in the moonlight because it'll burn his skin. And that's only the beginning of their problems resulting from a gas explosion at the International Paper Mill 15 months ago. The noise of the explosion was deafening, and more than a year later, Terry and Kenny Townsend can still hear ringing in their ears. They also have constant nightmares and flashbacks to May 3rd, 2008, when they were severely burned in an explosion at the International Paper Mill in Vicksburg.
First thing I did was hold my arm up, and I watching the skin, the first layer of my skin was hanging off my arm because that's how hot it was.
My temples were visible. I'd walked around in steam that was for a while, and I kind of cooked. That's why my hands are permanently, that's permanent. It was like I was lit up on fire. I was begging them to put me to sleep in the ambulance.
Here are some of the images of their burns, which covered most of their bodies. The two spent about 3 months in a medically induced coma at a burn center in Georgia. Today, each takes more than a dozen medications for pain and depression. Their skin is covered in grid marks from the skin grafts. They both have extensive nerve damage. Kenny's hands are ruined. They both have to wear special clothing that keeps them cool.
Can't be out in the sun. I can't be in the heat.
The Townsends say the paper plant was negligent every step of the way. The two were contractors working on the insulation around the boilers, which were cold at the time. Then, without warning, they say, one boiler was powered up.
The last job we came from, when they started their boilers, they were roped off, fenced off, and we was working somewhere else. I always assumed, they're not going to throw gas in something and then throw fire in it and have me standing there.
They should have a watchman that comes and clears the boiler, make sure nobody's near it for reasons like this, if this was to happen.
Now, the Townsends have not specified the amount of damages they will seek. The matter is slated to go to trial in June, and we do have a call into Tom Mocker. He is a manager at that plant in Vicksburg to get his response.
It's difficult to imagine.